Small-Time Critics. My name is Kem.
Kem and Hashi. Let's go.
And we don't have Mo today. He's on holiday. He's living his best life. And I'm struggling. But guess what?
Struggle bus.
I'm here for the cause, man. I'm here for the cause. So today we're going to be speaking about Speak No Evil.
I need you to be brave. You guys have been...
Just a breath of fresh air. Oh, well, that is very sweet of you to say.
Directed by
James
Watkins. Thank you, Ash. What's his? Oh, bloody hell! My head's gone absolutely. Sorry, my head's gone completely.
What are you looking for, bro?
James McAvoy. He's a fantastic actor. Anyway, so
yes. Also,
forgot the name.
Also, Scoot McNairy's in this, and Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah, she annoys me. But anyway, please,
what?
Please
okay.
let me do my thing.
Okay.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we post, and leave a comment and let us know what you think. And yeah, so yeah, man. She annoyed me. She annoyed me, man. Sorry.
Give me a spoiler-free.
You can't put me on the spot. I'm struggling, Hash, man. Please spoiler-free, man. Please.
All right, I'll give you one. This is a remake of a foreign language Danish version of this film.
I heard about that.
It was made in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I watched that film before, and that is one of the most nihilistic, one of the most horrifying films you're going to ever watch. And I was very, very skeptical when this film was announced to have its own English language kind of like quote-unquote Hollywood remake.
Mm-hmm.
And this film basically follows the kind of like a lot of the plot points of the film, but deviates significantly from the ending. Significantly, Ken.
Okay.
So it's actually going to be very interesting for someone like yourself who's only seen this version, and it'll be good to kind of get your take on it compared to myself, whose basically review of this is informed by the first one and how great a film, as horrifying as off-putting as the original kind of Danish version was. Again, it'll be very interesting to kind of have this discussion, man. So for me, my kind of spoiler-free review is this film definitely lives up to the kind of the promise of the first film and how great that first film was. But for me, the ending leaves something to be desired. But for Hollywood and for the West, it works. Okay. It works because I don't think the foreign language film's ending would be something that kind of modern audiences would take. And also, someone as famous and as big as James McAvoy, I doubt he would also commit to the original's ending as well.
Okay.
Kind of
so talking on James McAvoy, look, let's just get it straight. This is his bag. He is an on-screen psycho, in my opinion. The guy, he does it so well. Again, going into this film, I didn't really check any trailers, read any synopses to understand what it was about. I went into this completely blind, and I think that was the best thing I could have done, because not knowing the sort of tone of the movie, not even knowing that James McAvoy was the antagonist, made it so much better as well. Knowing that he's well versed in playing bad guys and that sort of character, I felt there was some sort of triggering moments.
Wait, James McAvoy's known for being a bad guy,
bro. Like when he plays these crazy roles, look, Split, Glass. Was it Split and what's the other one? Was it Glass? Was he in Glass?
Yeah.
He wasn't in Glass. He was just in Split. Right?
No, he was in both.
Yeah. Again, I think they've stuck with me, and they've left us like a real imprint of the type of person or the type of character he plays.
Yeah.
And even though I thought those movies weren't that good,
okay,
he done enough in those movies for me to say, this guy could play a madman. So going back to Speak No Evil, I didn't expect anything. It was pleasant surprise. There were some triggering moments in this movie, which I felt a lot of people, like parents in particular, will struggle.
Yeah.
And I think even though they're triggering, it was great for the movie because they didn't hold back. Because if they had held back, his character that he's portraying wouldn't have been believable.
Okay.
So obviously, when we go into the spoilers, then I can explain a bit more. Then you will understand what I'm trying to come across. But overall, this is shoehorn into my top 10 of the year, easily.
I hear that.
Easily.
Interesting.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't have no more non-spoiler stuff to say, so I really want to get in regards to the spoilers. Yourself?
For me, I've already kind of given my non-spoiler free, so let's get into it, bro.
Let's get into it. First and foremost, would you let your child jump on a moped with?
No.
Do you know how mad I was vexed?
So again, I was thinking of yourself and another one of our friends who are parents, and at what stage you guys would have been like, nope, I'm out. Nah, this ain't on. No dice. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, I'm not gonna lie, like that moped thing. No way, Jose.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Even if the brother had a helmet, no way.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
Which was crazy.
That was nuts to even like, and I think that goes to, that's a part of like the sort of the story when they was making statements about you're being too nice. Obviously, say what you mean, say what you feel, even though it's gonna hurt people, stuff like that. Off the jump, if you're saying, oh no, let my kid go on the moped, you said, excuse me please, and then the type of character he was, I would have had issue with the type of person that he was.
Yes.
From when we're sitting at the dinner table and he's making a mockery of another guest. It's like, if you could do that, what else can you do? Like, so you're making a fool of someone to people that you barely know.
Yes.
Yeah, you're behaving like that. I'm thinking, I'd have been out from there.
Yeah.
Out
so
from there.
For me, what I found incredible about this film and something that really stuck with me afterwards is the James McAvoy performance. I think from start to finish, he sets the tone, because at the start, you can kind of hear him. You can hear him off screen. You can hear the accent, stuff like that. You can see that obviously he's bulked up, kind of thing. You can see the belly's out, the physicality. I think in a recent interview on the Big Picture, James McAvoy said that he was really like inspired by Ray Winston in Sexy Beast in regards to kind of having the stomach out at the poolside, all that kind of stuff. And I really kind of like rang true to me, like when I was remembering that kind of sequence where he kind of grabs the chair and goes, "Can you take this?" Like acting very kind of fake niceness, and then as soon as he's given the go, bang, he's just dragging it across as loud as you like. Like this is my obnoxious, like kind of like a dog kind of peeing on his territory kind of thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I found that, I was thinking, what an incredible way to set the tone. Incredible way to set the tone.
No, honestly, it was, and then to be honest, like some of the shots was actually really, especially when they were in, was it Croatia? Where were they?
Oh,
it was shot in Croatia, wasn't it?
The film.
Yeah.
I'm not
100%
sure.
Oh no, there was in Italy.
They were in Italy. They were in Italy on holiday, but
absolute vista. Like in regards to sort of like scenery, it was amazing. The sound in this was brilliant as well. Like it captured sort of horror, but almost sort of tormented horror.
So you're more talking about the third act there when you talk about sound design.
Yeah. Leading up to it was it was sort of plain sailing. So yeah, I'm talking about the sound at the end. It's just like it was so sort of captured in regards to the third act of the movie.
Yeah.
Even though the sort of lead up to when they came to the farm was needed, necessary, and it was good. It was a great piece of storytelling. It was fantastic. In regards to the original, how far did they deviate?
So they kept very true to the film up until about the third act, I would say.
Okay.
So obviously they made some changes. For example, the Danish couple in the Italian resort that they're at, that they keep on saying, that was one of the couples in the original film.
Makes sense.
So that was a fun little Easter egg for people like myself who had seen the original. And it's one of those things where the film really had some interesting stuff to say about kind of the age of innocence with Agnes and stuff like that. From obviously her being really kind of as a 12-year-old or 11 or 12-year-old being really kind of like attached to this kind of like rabbit, kind of like dolphin.
Yeah.
And at the end, giving it to Anthony, the young boy, and that's kind of her kind of journey complete, and her leaving kind of the age of innocence towards the end of the film. And I felt that was very interesting. And I think what the film does, this film specifically, is an exploration of toxic masculinity, 100%, and also kind of like, in many ways, this film's trying to be a social horror, kind of very similar to kind of Get Out in a way, where it's kind of like the degradation of kind of social mores kind of thing, and then it's slowly getting to a point where, towards the end of the film, James McAvoy character, when asked, why are you doing this to us, he says, because you let us.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly,
I mean?
Yeah.
And again, that line didn't hit as hard as it did in the original. Because the original, the last line of the film is that.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
And again, it'd be interesting. Let me just tell you what the ending of the original.
No, let me, because again, I want to do a few shout outs as well, because Dan Hugh, fantastic performance. I'm not the biggest sort of child actor sort of thing unless it's necessary, and I think I'm a bit more critical in regards to sort of child actors, because I don't want child actors in. I don't want like a movie to have children in it for the sake of just having kids in it, unless it means something. And what Dan Hugh did, and with obviously being a mute as well, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. Obviously, Agnes annoyed the hell out of me in certain. Obviously, she played really well in it. What's her name? Alex West.
Yeah.
She was a fantastic actor. Yeah. But her character really bugged me, because like there's certain things that.
Let's get into it. All right. So
no.
This specific because as a parent, Kem, if you've seen the craziness that's ensued, like this, your daughter or your child is in the bed of another couple, bro. For me, like leaving in the middle of the night is 100% warranted. Number one, without saying goodbye, 100%. And when she said, "I've left the rabbit," I would have turned around and said, "We're leaving the rabbit." You know what I mean?
I think you're. Even though I'm not one to swear in front of kids, swear in front of anyone, because obviously respect and obviously like good teachings are definitely my morals. I don't swear in front of kids or like my elders, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think in that moment I would have been like, what you talking about? We're gone. Leave the rabbit about. Because you know what it is. In those, okay, I'm not one to sort of give people advice on how to in people's relationship, but you understand the situation. As a mother, you've now seen your daughter in a bed with a complete strangers. Yeah. And you've already had sort of like inclinations that there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
And you're willing to go back for a rabbit. And you know already, that your partner he doesn't wear no trousers. He doesn't wear the trousers. You want to go back. Look, from there, that's where my movie finished. To be fair, my movie finished in Italy.
Yeah.
But if I actually got to that point and I got to the farm, the movie finished there. Yeah. The credits would have been rolling.
Yeah.
Are you mad? And then to go back, to then have a conversation, and then to be talked down out of leaving, I'm thinking, what are these people doing? Their lives must be so sort of upended for them to sort of keep putting themselves back in situations of...
All the stuff they're letting go. Like, for example, watching Ant drown when they jump into that kind of like lake area. Like, how was that acceptable to them? The fact that Mackenzie Davis' character, as a vegan, allowed someone man
to put meat in your
pause. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, all I'm saying, this is a segment that I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I was gonna send shots. So I'll leave it.
So, like, again, like for example, if if someone's going to do that to me, I would immediately, like, say for example,
I'd
she's
have said
trying
no.
to be too kind of, no, she's
I
a
said
vegan.
no, she's a vegan, leave
she's
it.
a vegan, leave it. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was crazy. The fact that they slept in the bed that had a dirty stain on the thing, that's unacceptable. You know what I mean? That's enough for me to leave already. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's so many things they let go. The biggest one,
Red
Kem,
flags
yeah?
on
Kem,
red flags.
The one that literally like had me like sweating was when they left their daughter with a man that they did not know.
No, I'm literally looking at the Mujid.
Yes.
The refugee.
Yes. So this is the thing that James McAvoy's Paddy character did so well was he was so menacing and so evil all the time. He did that so fantastically well. But when he was
It was
to be
consistent
vulnerable
as well.
but he could be vulnerable and be sympathetic at the same time. Like when he made them stay and talked about the fake daughter that died.
Yeah.
And the way he got emotional and how he looked believable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how he talked about how his father was abusive, all that kind of stuff. Crazy. And how it immediately like kind of made what do you call it, Ben and what do you call it, his wife immediately sympathize with him. Was incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Is a punk. Sorry, Ben's a punk. Yeah, man was in the closet with the hammer, and only after Paddy's cohort sort of kind of was chasing his wife, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to do something. And then I was like, this guy's a punk, man. Even Ant was on it more than he was.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
but do you think he did that well? Because I think the script narrate, he had to play a very difficult role. He had to play the kind of milquetoast, kind of like
milquetoast.
Listen, modern man. He had to play
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say.
He had to play like the modern man, where you're kind of like, it's a kind of like a movie of manners kind of thing, where he's got to always do the right thing.
But that's not the if that's the modern. I apologize. Listen, if you feel offended, I apologize. But if that's the modern man, I don't want to know anything.
No, but
about
but this film is 100% a critique of that.
Of course.
Someone who's kind of going through life saying, okay, I want to do this, and this to live a kind of ethical, moral life. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. Blah blah blah, kind of thing. Whereas Paddy is the inverse. Hence, even director James Watkins has already mentioned that in interviews. Like, this is a film about toxic masculinity and about the horrors.
Okay.
You know what I mean? About social horrors. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
See, my issue. It's not an issue because I don't want to be misunderstood when I say this. Maybe I'm just not. I can't sort of elaborate. Well, anyway, so the toxic masculinity issue. Fair enough, but I think we're in a period where any portrayal of masculinity has to be toxic. Masculinity and toxic masculinity doesn't have to be the same one in the same. Yeah, because a masculine man or dominant figure in regards to relationship, life, and everything doesn't have to be toxic. Yeah. But I think we're in a time and a period where a lot of 90% of any like issues with sort of men, older men. I don't know. I'm trying to be very careful with my words.
Okay, I can see. Yeah.
Older men, and even in what's the other one? Blink Twice. Yeah. You have these sort of masculine figures. Sometimes they're not masculine. They're just they use their power, the power that society has bestowed upon them. So they don't have to be masculine themselves. Yeah. But I think there is a sort of fine line that we're towing here in regards to toxic masculinity and masculinity in a sense. You know, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just because I'm being very careful because I don't want to downplay toxic masculinity because that is an issue.
That is an issue, but put that to one side. I think this film is definitely critiquing that, but there are definitely examples in modern cinema of great masculine role models. I think,
like who?
Like, again, I was rewatching this literally yesterday.
Oh gosh, go on.
Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise as Maverick is a great kind of like role model for what it is to be a man. Number one, he's true to himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He does the right thing, no matter what the cost is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
A leader. You know what I'm saying? All the great kind of quote unquote masculine traits, stuff like that. He protects people,
Denzel.
stuff like that. Denzel, you know, I've said,
Equalizer.
yo,
Equalizer.
let's go.
Yeah.
You hear that, Mo?
No. Okay, fair enough. But again, it's few and far between.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think there needs to be a representation. Not just that, like even with like I'm talking about strong and empowering women in regards to certain roles as well. So what they did in this one with Mackenzie, fantastic. But what they did, they really, in order to make her that way inclined, they really played down Ben.
No, but you have to do that to show the difference. Number one,
but you don't have to. It doesn't have to be sort of the polar opposite in regards to one super like on the ball, willing to sort of commit, willing to do anything.
But Kemi,
and the other one's
the movie doesn't work if Ben and what do you call it, Paddy are not opposites.
No,
the movie doesn't work.
No, but it still does. I reckon. I reckon it still does. Yeah. I reckon it still does because Ben doesn't have to be, quote unquote, like a softie.
Okay.
Softie. I was getting close. He doesn't have to be a softie.
Yeah.
To still be very polite, and obviously his politeness, his manners, being in the forefront, which is preventing him from saying, you know what, like you need to calm down.
But what you're saying is talking about a person's kindness taken for weakness.
That's essentially what happened here. That's essentially what happened. And obviously there are so many factors in regards to the situation that they were in, because obviously one of infidelity, the other one of not letting go and willing to go again, and not like there was a statement in there where said, we haven't been together, he probably get once a month if he's lucky, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That again, some people
that's an emasculating joke.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And you find that a lot. But on the flip side, let's try to wrap it up. But yeah, Mackenzie, she did her bits, man. She was definitely taking charge, especially in getting people out. And
the third act, she was outstanding. Very, 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 very.
It was a complete sort of I wouldn't say role reversal, but she really sort of changed how she was moving from before, because before she was like a princess and like everything had to be right and in order for her to be a part of it, and she was very sort of.
I wouldn't say she's a princess. I wouldn't go that far. Man.
I would. There was a lot of like, can you do that, or are you gonna let him do that, stuff like that, instead of taking charge in the situation.
This is the question I'll have you.
Go on.
That I kind of wrote down the second time I watched it. You see bad parenting from another couple. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
There's okay. Great question. There's certain lines you don't cross as a parent, and there's certain lines you cross as a human being. Yeah. So as a parent, if someone's swearing in front of their child, I have issues with that. I wouldn't cross that line to say, you know what, don't do that, because that's someone else's parenting. Maybe they feel that sort of exposure to swearing is to sort of toughen them up or what have you. That's all fine. If I'm seeing a child be abused like for no reason, then I'm gonna have to say, whoa, hold up, like chill out. So again, that's what I said. There's some triggering moments in this movie that I couldn't stand, when the boy didn't do anything and he's getting grabbed up and dashed and even thrown in the water, stuff like that. I'm thinking, yo, like, come on.
For example, what would you do if I started smoking in front of your son? For example,
I say I'll excuse us out of the situation, because guess what? It might be your norm.
Okay. So
that's what I'm saying. There's certain things that as a parent, I'll step up. As a human being, there's other reasons why I'll step up. So if you're smoking in a room, this is your house.
Yeah.
I'll excuse my kid or get out of the room in order for you to do that, because this is your norm. This is your house.
Parenting
but I'm
is
not. It's very hard. But I'm not going to say, could you stop smoking in front of my kid at your house? If it's my house, you try to smoke, say no, outside.
Yeah.
So there's levels to it.
I hear that.
There's levels to it. But
so what do you think about the reveals? Like, for example, the son constantly trying to show the Agnes and trying to show Agnes,
I love, you know what I really enjoyed the fact that I thought there was an issue from the jump. Again, I thought there was an issue, and I did actually think that this weren't his kid. Yeah.
Yes.
From early, but little things like him not being able to write, being illiterate. Yeah.
No, he wasn't illiterate. He was writing in Danish.
Was he writing in Danish?
Yeah.
That's so sick, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, and also he showed Agnes the back of his father's watch.
Watch, yeah, no, I saw that.
By the way, fantastic watch collection they have. Obviously, it's all stolen watches to be
Yeah,
fair.
of course.
But again, like he's showing the back of the Omega, like the engraving.
Yeah. I knew that as well. But I saw that. I kind of thought I was.
It was interesting. Obviously, like you could see something was terribly wrong.
Yeah,
like
of
he
course.
immediately ate the paper before.
Yeah. Not even before that, when everything was my boy and stuff like that, and he was just moving. Every time he sort of came close, he was almost like flinching away. So yeah, there was issues. But then obviously with what's
about the main
name?
reveal? The main reveal when he takes her down into the basement of the barn.
It was I think that took too long to come because I kind of knew I knew something was wrong. I knew something was up. I think that took too long to happen. Maybe not too long, but if it came maybe 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier, it would have been this is perfect because I wouldn't have put two and two together by then to say, you know what, it would have given me that, oh my god, what the hell's going on? But it gave me too much time to figure it out. That's the only thing.
So now, going on to the third act, when we realize that these guys have been doing this to many people, and that they're taking all their money and stuff like that, and then the line comes like, why are you doing this? How can you do this to us? You know what I mean? Because you let us. James McAvoy says it, and then we get into this what I call the Hollywood third act, where it's basically an action set piece, basically. So I thought, for me, Kem, I thought it was staged wonderfully. I think for what it was staged very well. The fact that you had the other kind of like bit of danger, i.e. the kind of guy who was helping Paddy, the cook guy, I thought was interesting. And I thought, for me, when they went back into the house, I was thinking, how are they gonna get out? And again, I was gripped. You know what I mean? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Now, again, the way it ended and stuff like that, the Hollywood ending, stuff like that, the fact that, what did you think about Ben, quote unquote, sacrificing himself and being, you know what I mean, and basically breaking his ankle? What did you think about that?
I would have done the same thing.
Of course.
I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't even.
Do you think that redeems all the stuff?
No.
Beforehand?
No, not at all. Because you have to understand, there's many of my issue as a dad to another dad lies with putting your family in danger in the first place. Yeah. So if you suss danger, like for me, if I'm walking down the road and I'm with my family, if I'm by myself and I'm walking down the road and there's people in front of me and I know I could maneuver and get through and there's a possibility or cross the road, whatever, that's on me to make that decision whether, okay, you know what, I can't be bothered to do that. But if I'm with my family and I sense a hint of danger, I'm excusing my family out the way. You could say, he's a wuss, whatever, but I'm not going to put my it's risk, what's it called, risk assessment. That's all it is, bro. You have to understand, once the guy grab up the kid like that, and there is so many red flags. I wouldn't be in that. As I said, my movie would have finished in Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have finished in Italy.
So for me, I really enjoyed like the actual action and stuff like that, and the kind of cat and mouse thing. I did enjoy that. You know what I mean? I'll be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it.
I like the sort of the corrosive liquid stuff like that, because normally in sort of action movie,
such great acting from James.
In action movie, they'll be like and then go again. Yeah, he's there getting the water
in
because
pain, blaming his woman for the fact. Yeah.
Okay, now with the woman now. I'd have bust shot time ago, man. I would even have waited. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, would I have even considered? Because you know when they locked her in with Jay, and she's saying, I was his first victim. Yeah, I don't care at this point.
So it's funny because it's so interesting you say this. So I was very lucky to be invited by Universal to go to a screening for this, and I was in a room full of critics. Critics, people who are professionals, brother. I heard an older gentleman behind me, I don't even know who it was, he screamed, "Shoot her!" at that moment. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And he was going nuts, the fact that he didn't kill her. And also a lady in front of me at the end, when James McAvoy is on the ground, full of fentanyl, You know what I mean? Full of ketamine, Shoot him in the face! Shoot his face off!
But then again, the dad in me, even though in that situation, because I'm not going to lie, I always worry about the what if and moving forward, prevention is better than cure. Yeah? I would have said, I wouldn't have. And you know when he sent off Agnes to the car, I knew something was wrong. In this situation, we don't know where Paddy is. You think I'm sending my daughter off to the car by herself? You mad? The woman, the missus, and all go together. Anyway, I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But once he's on the floor, full of fentanyl or what's it called trank, I would have said everybody go around and out. You're gonna hear a gunshot. You know that because just in case, because these dons they don't stay down.
Of course.
But anyway, let's.
But I think it worked for me because morally and ethically, as a human being, you will do whatever you can not to kill someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you want to. Yes, again, like
yes,
you want to navigate. You want to navigate life, Kem.
No,
just think of yourself as a human being. You want to navigate life.
Of course.
You want to navigate life without ever having to delete someone from this earth.
I hear that, but then you have to understand. If this is the Batman situation all over again, if you leave him, if there is a iota of a chance that he could get back up on his feet, and then catch us and do stuff to us again, not to me, to my family, I'm not taking that chance. Yes, make me the bad guy, but once they're going, I'll look away and do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving him the opportunity. But I say obviously for the movie and everything, it was perfect to give that opportunity to someone that he's tormented for so long in Ant. That was brilliant. That was a great ending. I loved that. Yeah. But for me as a dad, you don't go around the corner.
Cool.
That's all I'm saying. But ultimately, look, I think, as I said, I think this is definitely one of the better ones for this year. It's definitely one of the good ones.
But if this film doesn't touch the ending of the original, though,
is the original better?
The original ending is so nihilistic, and I think the original film is basically critiquing modern society, number one, and that life is not simple, life is extremely hard, and that bad evilness, if given a chance to kind of thrive, will do the worst possible thing in this life. And the way that the ending of that film is basically, they catch once they try and leave, the couple catch the Dutch couple catch the Danish couple. They get the daughter. They cut the daughter's tongue out. That's the actual sequence. That's an actual sequence within the original film. And then they start beating up the dad. Then they make the dad and the mum like strip naked, put them into like some kind of ravine, and start throwing rocks at them and kill them with rocks. And then when they ask, "Why are you doing this to us?" As they're killing them with the rocks, he says, "Because you let us," and that's how the film ends. It's so horrible. And apologies to anyone who's kind of like upset by me explaining it, but the ending of the original hit so hard, and it's one of those endings where you're like, you know, when you're looking at the screen, look at all the credits go by, and like the screen just goes black, you're just sitting there like, what did I just watch? The original was so crazy, you know what I mean? And it goes back to what I was saying. Would they have let James McAvoy do the original ending? I doubt they would, because he's too famous, too big. He's got to look after his image, that kind of thing. I doubt they would have ever have let him do that. And I don't think it was even on the
It would have been interesting if they did. Now explaining that, I think that would have been a better ending. To be fair,
it's the best ending. Because for what the film was trying to say.
Yeah, because obviously it will stay true to messaging, what they're trying to say. So this one, it's obviously Hollywood dramatized like the happy ending in a way, but yeah, no, I would have loved to have seen it with James McAvoy doing that, because essentially that's kind of, so I see why it was, now you're saying, I see why now
many people
they use the "you let me" so early on in the third act, to sort of still have that sort of sense of, because you let us.
That was the last part of the film that was true to the
and then the rest of it. No, that's fair. All right. Let's go to rating it, man. I'll let you go first.
For me, originally, because I watched the original, and I wasn't a particular fan the first time I saw it at the screening of of that third act and the ending. I was originally like a 6.5, but watching it again, and really kind of like watching the film as it was kind of presented, I did enjoy it, and I thought I really enjoyed the James McAvoy performance.
Yeah.
I think he's really in his bag, really enjoying himself, chewing the scenery, as they say. So for me, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10.
So I think obviously because I have
It's in your top 10 apparently.
No, it's definitely a 7.5.
7.5?
7.5 going to 8.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed this. There's a movie that I watched. I think last year. It's a British film. I think it's not called The Lovely Bone. Not Lovely Bone. Something else. The Bone Lodge. Yeah. Give that a watch. It's not. I think it's got Ray Winston in. I think. But anyway, it's really good. Really good. Yeah.
Okay.
The Bone Lodge. Very good movie. All right. Yeah. Well, that is.
That was a fun one, man.
Huh?
That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was a fun one, and that's our Speak No Evil episode. So yeah, if you have any sort of different opinion from what we gave you, please put in the comments. Let us know. And yeah, as we said before, like, comment, subscribe, and help us get to 1,000. We're going to 1,000 now by the end of the year. Obviously, Miles from Agents of Scream sort of task us in to get into 1,000. So we are up to the challenge. We're going to try and do that with your help, obviously. So yeah, again, we're always going to be here. So come listen to us talk about movies. And I'm kind of rambling on because I kind of don't know what to say. But anyway, peace.